Welcome back. You're watching CNN News 18. We have breaking news coming in from Trump-Zelensky meeting. United States President Donald Trump has showed hesitancy in sending Tomahawks to Ukraine while raising concerns that America needs them too. Trump, who met with Ukrainian President Zelensky at the White House, further suggested that continued U.S. support for Ukraine could strain America's own defense capabilities.
I met with President Zelensky, as you know, today, and we had a very good meeting, very cordial meeting. In my opinion, they should stop the war immediately. You go by the battle line wherever it is, otherwise it's too complicated. You'll never be able to figure it out. You stop at the battle line, and both sides should go home, go to their families, stop the killing, and that should be it. Stop right now at the battle line. I told that to President Zelensky. I told it to President Putin.
I have an obligation also, though, to make sure that we're completely stocked up as a country, because you never know what's going to happen. In war and peace, right? You never know what's going to happen. So we're going to be talking about Tomahawks, and would much rather have them not need Tomahawks, would much rather have the war be over.
So we have CNN News 18 Siddhant Mishra back with us live. Siddhant, could you please tell us what specific reason has Trump stated so far beyond public stockpile concerns that why they can provide Zelensky or Ukraine Tomahawk missiles?
Well, Sukanya, Tomahawk missiles, giving Tomahawk missiles to Ukraine was perhaps always a tool to build pressure on Russia. It was never for actually be giving to Ukraine. Now, since after this announcement by the United States, President Putin was on a phone call with President Trump. They both spoke for about 2 hours. President Trump again decided to give talks a chance, and in fact, now United States has started Peace 2.0 with Russia, Peace Talks 2.0 with Russia. This time around, Secretary Rubio will be leading the delegation. Steve Witkoff has been replaced by Secretary Rubio for the first delegation level talks. Then there will be meeting between President Trump and President Putin in Budapest. So that is what was announced by President Trump day before yesterday. Now, yesterday he met President Zelensky in White House. Meeting lasted for about 2 hours. Ahead of this meeting, President Zelensky also met U.S. officials, defense officials, perhaps to get the defense equipment, Tomahawk missiles, long-range missiles, etc., for Ukraine. Now, as I said, that the first, the peace talks collapsed after the Alaska summit. In fact, the announcements which were made after the summit, nothing happened, nothing progressed. After that, Russia walked out of the talks, and after which, in fact, President Zelensky had to call Prime Minister Modi to give right signals to President Putin during his talks with President Putin in Tianjin. So everybody understood that the Alaska talks are not going anywhere. It was just an optics which worked in favor of President Trump and President Putin. President Trump could tell his MAGA supporters that, look, I have been trying. I have called President Putin to Alaska. We discussed peace. For President Putin, it was also an optics that he is ready to sit on tables, and he's ready to talk, etc., etc. Now, since it's a new strategy which has been put in place by President Trump, new people have been roped in. Secretary Rubio, more formal and government-level talks will take place with Russia. Last time it was Steve Witkoff when it was important to break the ice. So Steve Witkoff first, and this time Secretary Rubio will be there. Then Viktor Orban will be playing a significant role. Hungary could also host both the leaders. So So his help will also be taken. But Sukanya, the elephant in the room is the critical area, the point of contention is the security is guaranteed to Ukraine and the territory. Now, unless there is a roadmap, which is accepted by both the parties and also the stakeholders, Europe and United States, as far as security guarantees and territories are concerned, perhaps till then there's going to be no breakthrough, no ceasefire. And these two are the main point of contention. In fact, in the last time also in the meeting between President Trump and President Putin, what have been reported is that the fact that President Putin was trying to convince President Trump all throughout the meeting that Ukrainians and Russians are the same people. He was giving a historical background, etc., to President Trump. So, as I said, that these two are the critical areas. Both sides, all stakeholders need to come on one page. Otherwise, there cannot be any ceasefire. All we will be left with is the optics and the summits like Alaska, which will lead this conflict nowhere. So, but this credit should also be going to President Trump, that at least he is giving efforts, he is diligently giving efforts, and he's continuously speaking to the partners in Europe, speaking to President Putin. So, this is the second time he's giving peace a chance, and he has roped in Viktor Orban. Secretary Rubio has been tasked. He has shown willingness to meet President Putin, etc., etc. So let's see where these talks go ahead from here onwards. But this is for sure. This is the second time with a fresh new strategy which has been put in place by United States. Yesterday, President Putin met President Trump. So let's see what happens in days to come.
Thank you so much for sharing that input with us. Viewers, we have some important information coming in from Zelensky-Trump meeting. Please have a look at the footage.
We trust United States. We trust President that he wants to finish this war. And it's difficult. It's very tough solution. It's understandable why. And for us, it's essential, our land and our country, because it's a part of our independence, not just meters or this is very important. It's about our sovereignty. So we think that it was also difficult to manage in the situation in the Middle East, and if President was successful in it, I hope that he will manage this situation.